I struggled throughout my schooling life, and it was always, you just had to work hard and perseverance, and you know, I was resilient from a young age because, you know, I'd try and I'd still fail a subject, and I'd try and I'd still fail a subject, and so, you know, I just figured out that if you work hard enough, something happens, and I think that's just carried me all the way through life. There were certainly moments though last year when people were saying no, no, no. You know, I sent my CV off to all the footy clubs, I'd spoken to people, I'd knocked on doors, and there was nothing happening, and I'd go out and I'd give guest talks about persevering, and you know, you might not know now, but later down the track doors will open, and I started towards the end falter in my own belief of everything I've stood for in my whole life. So it was a really pinnacle time late last year when I thought, maybe I'm wrong.
And I'm absolutely delighted to be welcoming Peta Searle to the St Kilda Football Club as our new development coach today.
Whilst I thought the door was closed, I never really gave up hope. I guess, you know, sitting here right now, it suggests that I wasn't wrong.
This is a great opportunity for our footy club, and we are just delighted to have her on board.
When I was 20, I found out that there was a women's league, so I started playing when I was 20. And I played for about 11 years, and I had a lot of success as a player. I think we won 5 premierships and represented the state and all Australian on numerous occasions. When I finished playing, I actually did my knee, and the president rang up and said, "Can you coach the next year?" And I said no, because I really didn't want to coach a team that I'd just been playing with, because I was a bit of a rat bag, and I don't think, you know, my peers would take me seriously. So after a bit of convincing, I decided to coach.
All right, let's go.
I started taking over the state sides and the development programs and the academies, so it probably helped me get my foot in the door for the level 3 accreditation, which is a 7-day live-in course. Yeah, that was pretty intense because I'd never been away from my kids for more than one night, so that was certainly very intense but very worthwhile. And I met Gary Ayres there, and down the track I was at a coaches award function. He said, "Look, there could be opportunities at my club, you know, if you think about it, you should put in your CV." So I put in my CV and I had an interview, and a couple of weeks later I was at Port Melbourne.
Come on, Langers, get up there, get the pressure. Say, guys, keep it going, keep the concentration. Nice, come on, you got to think about it, mate.
There's coaches that coach, and there's coaches that really care, and there's a playing group that will play footy, and then there's a playing group that will play for their coach. And you know, they definitely play for Ayresy, and it's just because he's just a genuine, outstanding person who cares about people, cares about their development, and his continual support in me certainly demonstrates that. And you know, I've never told him that, but certainly for the couple of years that I was there, he was like a father figure. The time came where I had to go back to work, as most people do, and as most people do, they have to sacrifice things that they love to work and support your family. So, you know, it was a no-brainer in the fact that I had to leave, but certainly when I did, yeah, it was like I'd lost something massively out of my life. The AFL did a video on me late last year, and it was probably pretty powerful because it was probably a day after I'd quit Port Melbourne. So, you know, it was pretty raw in probably what I said, and Sam Lane saw that video and just thought, wow, this is a powerful piece, and that spurred her to write the story. I think that created a lot of discussion. You know, Matt Finnis was then new into the job here, and he saw the article and decided would catch up and have a chat, and then have an interview, and then another interview. And you know, it was certainly a hard process, and but you know, obviously at the end a very hopefully rewarding process, not just for me but for the boys here at St Kilda.
What was good about that?
The pattern of the defender.
Good. The moment I've stepped into here, the support and the engagement from the guys here, you know, the players, the coaches have been great, and you know, I just think over time that will just build, and trust will build, and I don't see it being an issue. I think I've probably been involved long enough to know that you know, there's a hell of a lot more support out there than blockers. I think the biggest critic is myself. Every night I go to bed thinking, you know, okay, perhaps I could have done this better, what else can I do, or that worked well. And it's probably a bit of level of responsibility that I need to do this job properly, not just for me, for all women in general. But I think for me, as long as, you know, the Saints are happy, the players are happy, I'm happy, and my kids are happy, well, you know, I don't really mind what the outside environment thinks.